Welcome, everybody, to the CrossFire podcast. It is electric right now for a lot of gamers, almost every gamer. I don't know if anyone's not playing. I appreciate everybody that's here live because it means that you're probably taking time away from Red Dead Redemption 2 to be here with us. So I want to say thank you first and foremost. But with technology these days, I'm sure you're actually playing and listening at the same time. If you can chew bubblegum and rub your head, you can do this. Let's start with our cast here. We've got a hell of a panel. These are people that have played the game. Okay, they know what they're talking about. Let's start with the one and only Crap Gamer. Crap, how the hell are you doing on this Friday night?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Looking forward to getting into the show and then getting done so we can get back to Red Dead.
Well, that's real nice, Crap. That's real nice. All right, I see.
Just like everyone else. Just like everyone else, man. I mean, come on, dude. The game of our generation just released, man. We gotta get out there and and play it, man. People want to play this and 4K on the Xbox One X.
Well, let me tell you something. I think I'm doing everybody a service here, Crap. Everybody paid a lot of money for this game. Now everyone's taking a 2-hour break, and they're going to get a little bit more game out of it. Gets the excitement up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I totally buy that for $1.
For $1. That's great. Guys in the chat, tweet it out. Let people know we're here. It's Friday night. You got nothing better to do. Let's talk video games. I've got my next guy here as the usual suspect. You know him as Senora Boombastic Boom. Boom, how you doing tonight?
I am doing fine. We have hairy 4K horse balls.
Wow.
Okay.
That's great.
I am happy to say that playing on the Xbox One X has literally melted my eyeballs.
It's changed your life, Boom.
It has.
So balls have melted his balls.
Yes.
It's so great. So great. And we're going to get into those horse nuts in a little bit. Listen, I got Xbot 448, who's never confused for anybody but 448. Xbot, how the hell are you doing tonight?
Dun 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 banana. Yo, what is going on? Welcome to another Crossfire, guys. I am excited. I can't wait to hear what everybody has to say about this game. Of course, you know I have not played this game, but if you're playing right now, free up one of your thumbs real quick, bring it over to the keyboard, or if you're on your phone, and hit that thumbs up button. And while you're at it, hit that little share tag as well and put it out. Let's get a lot of people in here to hear about Red Dead. Come on.
I completely agree, Xbot, and thank you for the plug. I appreciate it. And then all the way from Ireland, he's here for you. He's actually drinking extra caffeine for you people. Alan Walsh from FullThrottle.com. Alan, welcome back to the show, buddy. How you doing?
You know what? Congratulations on being the first person to get me away from playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Thank you.
I've been enjoying the game. It's so much fun. 4K horse balls, only possible on Xbox One X, and HDR. It's been good.
HDR.
HDR.
It's funny, when he says the letter H, Crap, there's actually a few letters, but it's H.
Oh, yeah. H.
You can actually spell that letter with other letters.
H.
H.
There's
a CH in there, too, at the end.
It's brilliant, though.
I love it. I'll be honest with you, Alan, we goof and we have fun with it so much, I literally say it now. I do. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yes.
Now I got my special guest here. You guys are going to love him. He's a returning guest. He just comes on all the time. He just says, I'm coming on, and then he just shows up. The leader of the Sesh Empire. Shady, welcome back, buddy. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Mooch. It's been a long ride here to the Crossfire Saloon. I need a bottle of whiskey, a room, a warm bath, some food for my horse, glue stick hitched out front, and a clean woman for the night. Let's get this going. My God, what an insane time to be a gamer. Is it just me, or does it feel like next gen arrived last night? Woo!
It's not just you. I'll tell you right now, it did just arrive, because this is kind of what we envisioned, and we're going to get into it in a second. You got me all riled up there. And I love the glue stick name. Love it. Now, my next guest here, I believe he's been on before, but I'm going to tell you right now. People say his name one way. I call him the punk. He's a punk. He knows what he's talking about. Punk Kiddish, welcome back to the show, buddy. How the hell are you?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you inviting me on. I stayed up till 2 playing this game because it's phenomenal, because I was going to go to bed after TSGP, shout out to Salty.
Yes,
but
sir.
Everyone's going to stay up and play it. And I'm like, well, I can't be the only asshole not playing this game. So I stayed up till 2, woke up at 5. Work was terrible. And then I'm like, man, I'm just going to go home, take a nice nap. And then Mooch like, yeah, you want to be on the show? I'm like, energy fucking in my veins. Let's roll, dude. So I'm happy to be here. We're jumping into these topics, dude. And like Crab said, we're happy to be here, but we're all ready for the show to be over.
I know. I'm going to try and keep it to only 1 hour and 59 minutes, okay?
You got to get that coffee. You know what I'm saying? Got to get that coffee.
It's so funny. I kept, shout out to Fonz. I kept Fonz up 24 hours last week. He didn't go to bed before the show. I've done this to So Shady after he's worked 3 days straight and didn't even see a family member. Then he came on the show, and now I've done it to Punk. I apologize in advance, but it's gonna be worth your time. I promise.
I think you're kind of proud. Come on, let's be real.
I feel like now I'm mooching the clock. I'm mooching.
You got a string going on here right now, man.
Not bad, right? Who the heck can I take hours from next week? All right, guys, listen. Red Dead Redemption. I kind of want to start with. Let me start with Shady. Shady, listen. You are amped about this. You haven't stopped tweeting about it. There's pictures out there. You're all about it. What would you tell somebody right now? And you know what? The reason I kind of pick on you is you and Xbot were having an outstanding conversation before the show. How would you tell somebody right now that says, you know what? That's not really my bag. Maybe I'll pick it up later. Maybe I'll pick it up later. What would you say to this person? What is the difference in what Punk was just saying, how Next Generation has just appeared in the past 24 hours?
I would ask if gaming is their bag, and if the answer is yes, I would say they have to give this thing a go, man. Any way they got it, if they're going to a buddy's house to try it, whatever it's got to be, because I couldn't pick my jaw up off the ground last night at all. It was insane from the second that game started on. It is next level stuff. Like, the attention to detail is absolutely astounding. It takes place in the winter at the beginning, and I've never seen snow do what this snow is doing, with the way bodies are falling in it, blood is seeping
neither
into
did
it.
Peter Molyneux either. So
Peter Molyneux said a lot of stuff, and his games didn't deliver on those things. Red Dead was conspicuously quiet on the build up to this. We got maybe like 12 minutes worth of video, official video, maybe 13. And my God, have they just blown expectations out of the water? You know, we hearing people like Alana Pierce saying she's going in with her highest and still getting blown away. It still blew that away for me. I couldn't believe what I was seeing and playing, and I went about it a little bit different. I have the privilege of living with my brother and a best friend. We're all huge gamers, and instead of each of us running off to our own separate rooms and playing by ourselves, we decided to play together. And I was watching my roommate play the beginning part by himself there. He was doing a lot of first-person mode. Yeah. And then when my bro got home from work, I watched him again, and he played it in third-person a lot.
You got three TVs side by side? How you doing this?
Not at all. Just sitting on the couch like it was old school, bunch of friends enjoying a game together, being just mind-blown together.
Playing the one character.
Just the one game. Yeah, hand it off here and there, give someone a feel.
I like that.
And like, our collective minds were just absolutely blown. And because I was able to experience the beginning again with my brother when he came home from work later in a different view as well. Yeah, man, I just stunning. It's under, I can't say the words that do the game justice. I mean, if you are a gamer, if you hate cowboys even, I mean, you have to try this out. You just, I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Hold on. Mooch is just crawling out from under a rock. I didn't know that there was there's two options here. There's a third and first person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there is. And that first person mode is so immersive. Like, and also, this is big. I realized this last night. When you're like riding your horse and you're in a long conversation with one of the NPCs, you can like hold the left trigger, I believe it was, and you focus on them. And then the camera just goes into like this insane movie cinematic mode.
I was reading about this. Okay.
And you can still control your character like totally fluidly. You're riding your horse side by side, but the camera is like a movie. And oh my God, I just can't believe what it is. It almost tears of just pure ecstatic amazingness were coming down my cheek. Wow.
Jeff Keighley, report to Crossfire. You have to hire Shady for your goddamn show in December. Listen, Shady, great way to depict that. And you make me actually want to try that out. Even though, listen, I love my first-person shooters. I really do. But when it comes to these types of games, I'm going to try that based upon what you just said. I think that was very, very convincing. But I think I'm going to stick with my third person in this case, just because I want the screen pulled out so I can see more. You know what I mean?
It's on the fly, Mooch, anytime you want.
Let me just throw this in there, Shady, real
quick.
Go
ahead, Boom.
There are actually 3 modes. There is a pullback mode, which is you may like. There's a closer in third person mode, kind of like a Resident Evil 4 look, and then there's first person.
Oh,
Okay.
It's
When are you
all on
playing
the
it, Boom?
fly. Sorry about that. Like, we were beating this guy up. We were interrogating him and flopping back and forth between the third and the first. So you're punching him all up in third person, and then you go to the first person, and it's all zoomed in on the guy's face, and his lips all busted open. He's missing teeth. He's begging for his life. Back out to third, couple more punches, back into first. Like, wow.
That's amazing. That crap. Now, how are you playing it? Are you first person?
Hell no. This is a third.
That's so
This is a
great.
third person game. Come on, let's get real here.
Crap, I'm
Just
not
like
sure if I'd want you to
GTA
be a
is.
developer. I would love to see you at a developers meeting. What would you say we add a first person? Hell no.
Hell no. I mean,
Get out of
look,
here.
Look, you
Crap, we can't fire him. He's our senior
Third-
engineer. Get rid of him.
third person is the way to play it, in my opinion. Just from the get go, it really grabs you. You
Right.
realize that these guys are on a different level. People might want to bring up CD Projekt Red or Naughty Dog. They're not. They're carrying Rockstar's shit. They're their roadies. All right. Like these guys get it. These like crunch, and then crunch some more. What's this? The highest rated game on PlayStation or Xbox this entire generation. Like, yeah, like those guys are setting up their shit for Rockstar. They're begging to crunch 100 hours in one day if they can. Like these guys are just the absolute business, and they have absolutely outdone themselves with this game. It's everything you like. If you were a kid that liked Westerns, or if you liked, any of the Unforgiven or Tombstone, like the way they fall, even when you shoot them and they off the towers, that's like it doesn't get any better than that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
the acting is great. You rarely see NPC acting worth a damn. And my leg, you get that
My
really
leg!
weird shit. Yeah, my leg, help me find it. It's not like that. This
Go
is
find
like
my
a
leg.
movie. Yeah, this is like a movie, and they really, really just knocked it out of the park. This game's gonna sell amazingly well. The word of mouth, obviously, the reviews are there. These guys can write their own ticket, man. Rockstars can do whatever the hell they want. And, this is just more proof of that. So just congrats to them for launching an amazing game. I've heard that this game, on an Xbox note, has pushed Xbox One X sales through the fucking roof.
Yes.
I've heard
So
that too.
we've got that going as well. That's from pretty good people that I've heard that from. I've been seeing it across Twitter as well. People see that Digital Foundry thing where it's not just a small difference, but a huge difference in the quality of the game. And people are wanting to play it. Look, this game isn't on PC. You want to play it the best. You got all these trade-in deals right at the right time. You can pick one up for like $250. People are doing that.
Yep.
And man, this is really, really just an amazing. They really went all out with it. The story just grabs you right from the beginning, and that's great. That you felt that cold, man, at the beginning when you're in that snow. You're like, brr, and I'm in Florida. Yep. So, shit, man, they did a wonderful job, and I can't wait to dive back in.
Quick question for the people out there like myself. Now, guys, just let me give a little intro here or explanation. I have yet to play it. I did the wrong thing. I stayed up and gamed on Wednesday night way too late. So everyone's story right now where they did that last night and went to work and hurt today. I did that on Wednesday night and hurt on Thursday. I just couldn't enjoy the game at 12 o'clock. I said, I'm going to sleep. Today's been nothing but a ruckus, moving around, doing whatever we got to do and getting the show ready. And I did Boom's show earlier this morning, which was great. And so basically, I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet. I want to say this much. Crap, can you tell me how much of the game thus far is taking place? Because I've seen so many shots prior, and there's no snow. Now there's a lot of out in the mountains and snow. Is this an early part of the game without ruining it?
I'm only a few hours in, so
okay.
Yeah.
And so it must take place up there. I heard the first 2 to 3 hours is extremely big on the story.
It is, and you're in the snow, man, and you'll know exactly why when you play it.
I'm okay with that. I live in New York.
I couldn't stop staring at it, Mooch. It is absolutely insane. You're shooting people and animals, and when they fall into the snow,
they leave a print.
It's incredible. It's incredible. That's all I can say. You remember those stats they released about like 500,000 animations in this game?
Mm-hmm.
It is so evident compared to other video games. It's not even funny. Like the smoothness of absolutely everything. Nothing is clipping into each other when he's taking the gun off his shoulder and putting it back. The strap is legit. Everything. My God, dude. staggering. I
And
got
you know
spot
what?
now.
I actually have to follow him because I've been actually holding back, yelling into the mic. I'm going to pull a Mooch.
Do it. Go for it.
Here's the thing. Shady's talking about detail, and I did some video myself, and I did some pictures on Twitter. What I found to be astounding for this game is there was a hunting mission where you had to go and get food for everyone. And I lassoed my horse to the pole, and I took off the deer from the back, and I stood there for a second. And don't you know that while it was snowing, there was snow buildup on the horse, on the deer I was carrying, and
was that
on
your
the
picture
hat.
I saw about an hour ago?
Yes.
Great
Yes.
picture.
I mean, oh my God. And you know what's even more crazy? On the road back with that mission, I kept focusing on just the deer on the back of the horse, and the fur on the deer was moving with the wind. It is just one of the most detailed and graphically impressive games I have played in 40 fucking years.
Wow, Boom's first curse word.
There you go.
Round of applause.
Yeah.
If this was a great whiskey / scotch, I would pour it on the ground. Listen, I am very proud of you, Boom, and I'm sure you probably swore a couple of times on the force, but nonetheless.
Yeah, a couple of times. You know what? I was actually the gentleman police officer. They used to call me Officer Friendly.
That doesn't surprise me. And by the way, that'll stick with you for the next 15 years on YouTube. But, all right? And I like it. I do. I like it. I got to work that in this Señor Boombastic somehow. I'm not sure I'm going to do it, but I'll work on it. Boom, that was a great shot. As a matter of fact, that was such a good shot. That's something that, like, I bet you a bunch of people are stealing that picture and using it as their background on Xbox.
I hope so. Listen, I love to give back to the world.
You do, buddy. You do. And we'll get into that later on. You did that earlier today on your show. I'll be honest with you, Alan, I'm a little shocked. I'm a little shocked because people know you for enjoying 3 pedals turning left. So this is really out of your wheelhouse. How the hell is someone who's a Forza guy this into Red Dead Redemption?
Well, first of all, I pretty much spend all of my time either writing about racing games or playing racing games. So this is just a nice, refreshing change, especially after that super busy Horizon 4 launch period. This is really refreshing for me. The other thing I'll say is I've always been a big fan of Rockstar. I've always bought their games. I love GTA 4. I love Red Dead Redemption 1. I loved L.A. Noire. And, you know, what I've actually noticed about Red Dead Redemption 2 is that it actually combines a lot of various mechanics from all of those games, which, you know, is expected from a Rockstar title, but it's done it this way to a bigger degree than one. Like, this is really the ultimate, you know, showcase of what Rockstar games can do. They brought their 8 studios together. They've been working on this thing for 8 years.
Yeah.
And like it shows, the attention to detail is unbelievable, and it's honestly blowing me away. And like, as you know, one of the reasons I love Forza is because they have such an attention to detail, such an eye to like see those cars perfect. Rockstar has done that, but with this open world Wild West, with, you know, the wildlife, the beauty, the animations, the acting, everything is just top notch. The storyline, it thrusts you into the story straight away. I love the narrative that they're telling here. It's a great story. The trailers really didn't give much away. So if you watched all the trailers, and even if you read a lot of the media previews and the reviews, you're still going to be going into this game without knowing, let's be real here, you're not going to know much about it at all still, because Rockstar kept so much just close to their chest. They didn't reveal much, and there's so much stuff that has surprised me as I played through this game. It is honestly just incredible.
Alan, they did such a good job that I've watched so many videos. I've watched so many reviews. I've talked to so many gamers in the past 24 hours that have played this. I haven't started it yet. I will be starting it at 9:01 p.m. Eastern time. And when I do, I don't know anything about it. And guess what?
Dude, if you're gonna start, hold on. If you're gonna start at 9:01, we have to like stop at like 8:47. Then
you don't know how sneaky I can be. I can get the hell out of here quick. Listen, I'll tell you something. Nextbot, I'm coming to you last only because you really are. You're gonna be the Mayana, which is the straw of the drink.
Yes, sir.
I want to go to Punk. Punk, listen. I realize right now you're probably hallucinating, not even realizing you're on the show.
Not even fucking on my mic.
He's gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, "Honey, I could have swore Mooch asked me to do something last night." She was like, "You're on the show for 2.5 hours." All right. Listen, Punk, what do you think about this game? Is this game? I mean, listen, me and you both love Destiny. Xbox loves Destiny. We know this.
Absolutely.
But how is this game probably going to pull you away for about 60 hours from one of your other favorites? What's it doing for you?
Well, it's going to be a lot more than 60 hours, I can tell you that. And that's going to blow people's mind, dude, because like Xbox and you're like Destiny nut here, you know, live, eat, breathe shit. Like everything's Destiny, right?
All right, you just gained like 10 more respect points for me. I want you to know that.
Punk's big into
I appreciate that, dude. Yeah, I love that shit, dude. But, well, I was going to buy this game regardless, but winning it is just like, again, icing on the cake. So shout out to Mr. Midlife Crisis. Again, I got to say that game.
Yeah, shout out to Van.
Amazing,
awesome,
dude.
Great
fucking
dude.
Awesome. Great little spin on that wheel. Dude, Mooch, I'm actually not even that far into the game, though. So I'm probably like hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? So I did the first
you guys are
mission.
making me feel better. You crap are making me feel a lot better.
I'm really not that, like, everyone else on the panel has seemed like they've gotten a little bit more in depth, you know, because everyone says like the first 2 or 3 hours is a little bit slower and then it picks up. But I haven't even reached that, so it's still kind of slow right now. I'm figuring out the buttons and shit. You know, I haven't played a game like this in probably ever in my life because I didn't even play the first one. So I'm fraud on the panel, right? I feel like the biggest fraud out here. I don't know if anyone else didn't play it, but I didn't play the first one. My brother-in-law loaned me the first one. Never played it. Still sitting on my shelf. So this game is amazing, dude. I want to dive in more. I wish I could talk more about it, but it's all just a brand new experience for me, you know? So just to take all that in as the first time feels amazing.
Well, the thing about it is this, and I appreciate you being so honest saying you didn't play the first one. I'll be honest with you. I love the first one. There was something about it that was just, I'm going to use this. It was cool, calm, collective. I absolutely loved it. And guys, pardon me for not knowing the actual mechanic that they use, but what is it there with the locking mechanism when you're doing the fire and you actually lock onto the three dudes? It's called a slow motion something or another. It was something Max Payne they started with ages ago, and they kind of, you know, with Max Payne 3 and kind of worked their way through.
Yeah, you press it on the right stick.
What is that? What's the technical term, crap?
I forget what the hell it's called technically, but I can tell you one thing. I was a little bit like, it takes a little bit to get down like the different things. Like, go to your horse and grab this. And I was like, I don't understand. I'm grabbing this sawed-off shotgun and it says I have a repeater or something. I don't know. So it's like, it took me a little bit to understand what you had to do there. And then one time I shot one of my friendlies in the ass and started a mission by accident. He's like, nice. What are you doing? Let's get him. You know, like, it's just like, you know, it's, but it's funny. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, they do a really good job with it. And like I said, the first one, when you start playing it, like I never beat that one. It got a little boring for me, a little bit, you know, too much to do. And maybe this one will get a little bit too much to do later on. But right now, they did the thing that's hard to do, which is actually go and draw you in, you know, like right away. And very few get, like God of War did that. There's other games that do it. You know, Tomb Raider did that for me. You know, and this game does it. It does it really well too. So, man, props to them for putting out this game. Let's just say this. This is game of the year. Sorry, God of War. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I know the Sony fans are all like, well, God of War should still be in the discussion. That discussion's closed, folks.
Yeah. I think you're on to something there, crap. I really think this is
sorry.
No. And actually, you gave me the greatest lead-in I could for Xbot. Xbot, listen, you know, you got to explain the audience, everybody in the audience right now, you've listened to everybody down the panel that's playing this game. And Xbot came out a week ago and said that it really wasn't his bag. Baby. But realistically, Xbot, is this what I got to be honest with you. I've known you a very long time.
Yeah, man. I can't believe
right?
How long,
We've known each other
actually.
such a long time. I can't see you not playing this game within the next 2 weeks. It's hard for me to fathom that. But explain to everybody kind of where you're coming from, why it's just not your bag.
Yeah, like I was watching like people stream the game and everything, and I'm gonna be honest with, you know, everybody out there in the community, in the chat. A part of me was like, well, maybe, but then I had to kind of step back. I'm like, you know, it does look good. It looks amazing, and I'm happy for everybody who's playing it. My whole thing is, when it comes to cowboys, like the whole kind of like cowboy lifestyle, you know, the riding on the horses, the six shooters,
mute his mic,
robbing trains, robbing trains, and everything like that. I'm just not into that. And like I can kind of relate it to I play Viva Pinata, right? To me, Viva Pinata is a great game. If you look at it in terms of its artistic kind of like graphic styling and everything like that.
Dude, it is
like,
a great game. Where else can you spin pinatas, go at it and have kids, you know?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Like, I can tell people that they should get that game, but somebody's going to be like, you know what? I'm just not really, that's not my thing. And no matter how good the game is, no matter how good the graphics are, you need that hook to immerse yourself into it, right? You need that atmosphere. And for me, that whole cowboy thing, the Wild West, every time somebody on the panel said Wild West, I was like, cue Will Smith. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like,
oh, well, that's your bad, man. I don't associate. Hey, go watch the movie Tombstone, man. See some real good.
Dude, I watched Rifleman. I watched Ponderosa. I watched Bonanza.
I'm telling you, watch Tombstone, not that other stuff. Tombstone.
Hey, Mooch, shout out to James in the chat. The thing you were talking about is called Dead Eye.
That's it, Dead Eye. Thank you.
Dead Eye,
so
yeah.
Somebody was calling it what it was in Max Payne, which was Bullet Time. That's not. It's the same concept, but it is Dead Eye.
Right, it's Dead Eye. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Shout
They're
out
like,
to
hey, he's on the water tower.
But I do. One thing I do want to say when it comes to Rockstar and what they did with Red Dead Redemption. A lot of people have played GTA, and a lot of people have kind of like they did really good with GTA 5, but nothing like it looked good, but it didn't look like, oh my god, good. I feel like Rockstar, they're kind of like their graphic engine and what they're doing graphically has finally caught up with the generation that they're in and possibly kind of like surpassing it. I feel like finally they have that open world where you have massive amount of content, massive amount of things to do and stuff like that. But now the world is jaw dropping to the point where it's like, oh my goodness, people are talking about the visuals. And let's be honest, when it comes to Rockstar, it was never really like, oh my goodness, they are graphical geniuses. You know what I'm saying? But with this game, they've taken that and like bumped it up like 3 notches, which I got to give them props for. And
horse balls. And they shrink in the cold.
They do shrink. I actually watched a stream where somebody was in the snow with their horse. They went and they looked first person. Mm-hmm. And then later on, when they came down off the mountains and there was more like grass and everything, they went back and looked again. And yes, it definitely, they do shrink and expand. Man.
I gotta tell you, like the level of detail just on the background stuff. You search the cabinets, the level of detail on that stuff is just second to none. I've never seen anything like it. Like Shady was talking about earlier, the cinematic thing where you press I guess it'd be the screw them for doing that, but the back select button. Yeah, the back button, and you hold it, and then you can change the angles, and it's kind of they'll just follow along the path, but you can still like control it if you want. And the way they've done that, like you wonder why nobody's done that before. So they managed to add things to this game that haven't been done before. And
hey, crap! Somebody in the chat said that they're using the original Red Dead Redemption engine, and
no way.
I have no way.
I'm like. Really?
Well, what Rockstar does with their engines is like all their games are developed using the Rage engine, but it iterates with every single game. So whilst it's still the Rage engine that they're using, it's a much more advanced, much more built upon version.
It's like the Xbox One X using Jaguar cores.
I'll tell you what's exactly like. It's exactly like Forza using the Forza Vista and not the Forza Tech engine since Forza 5. That's exactly what it's like.
Yeah. And so, they did phenomenal graphically to the point where I almost overlooked it. And the funny thing was, if I put my $60 down on this game and I play it, I already know I'm going to be like, wow, this looks really cool. Play it for a little while. After a day, I'm going to put it down and I'll probably never pick it up again just because the whole cowboy theme doesn't hook me, man. It doesn't attract me to go back to the game.
And at least you can be honest with
get
yourself,
you,
too.
bud. Mike, I really do. I think it'll get you, man. I think I'm not alone on this. This is the best looking, most detailed game I've ever seen. Hold on. I have ever seen in over 30 years of gaming, man. Ever. And what really blows my mind is that this isn't like a narrow, somewhat open kind of corridory sandbox, if you will, kind of like an Uncharted.
It's fully open.
It is massive open.
Well, check this out, Shady.
Dude,
there is a $60 way to prove me wrong. I'm just saying, man. If you think I'm going to enjoy it that much, if you have $60 to burn, I know I don't right now.
Mooch.
If you feel like it, man, I gladly accept gaming gifts.
It's funny,
no
Xbot, as you were saying that, like just like Peter Parker, my arm hair just went up. Listen,
Mooching 101.
You might be on the best channel ever in case you need a game. Speaking of that, all day digital's here. I don't know if all day, are you here? Can you hear us?
You mean All Day Morgan? What's up, man?
All Day, listen, one of the funniest guys, by the way, on Twitter, YouTube, period. All Day, thanks for coming on, buddy. I asked All Day if he could make it. And, of course, the time shift at 3 hours.
Yeah, man.
It messes everything up.
I was busy getting lattes, bro. You know how that goes.
As long as you didn't skateboard to the latte, that's all I'm asking.
Skateboard,
listen,
man bun, I'm all with it.
This is great.
Wow.
All Day, listen.
There it is.
I know you're playing, and it's funny. I'm so glad you were able to make it because I was reading your last couple tweets in the past hour or so.
Right.
You're playing Red Dead. I know you're enjoying it, but you'd mentioned something. You were saying that there was something off maybe with some of the mechanics.
Well, I just think the game's too detailed, bro, to keep honest with you. Like, you know, you ever sit there and you play a game and you're like, fuck, man. Like, in what real world scenario are you always running? Right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't used to moving that slow. I felt like the turning mechanics and like the way you aim the gun was kind of slow. But then I read Solid Rev's tweet and he said something about changing your sensitivity, your notch sensitivity, like the dead zone or whatever.
Yes.
And so I did it, and it's a little bit better now. I'm just got to get used to it, man. Because, you know, in the beginning, I don't know if you guys played the prologue or whatever, but it's a little, you're not moving as fast. You don't feel as free. You kind of feel like you're on the path, you know? Like
it's funny, and a lot of people, some people may not get what you're saying, but and not in this game, because in All Day, you weren't here for the beginning. I have yet. I'm going to start that game up as soon as we're done here. So I played the first one in its entirety. I did not play this one yet at all. Right. But there are games where I get what you're saying, where I've had it either if the game allows it and you can tweak it one way or the other, I do. Right. You know?
Right. So I felt like it was a little slow, but right now it's kind of, I just got done with that hunting mission. So
yeah.
You know, it's not opening up all the way yet, but I'm almost there, I'm pretty sure. So
Nice, buddy. So, how you been all day? Everything's good? You got the?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm. You know, I just came back from the courthouse with my latte, my skateboard.
He's got the skateboard up like Michael J. Fox on your left leg. I love it, buddy.
Right, my name's changed All Day Morgan now. Changed Twitter handle today. And,
All Day Morgan, I love it.
You know, it's an amazing experience, man. Like, just I was listening to Boom Talk before I hopped in, and it's kind of crazy. I'm at the part he was talking about when I see the fucking deer's stomach moving in and out as I ride on the horse.
It's like, crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
And I see the snow build up on his belly. I'm like, yeah, it kind of looks like mine. But
and you're not even playing it in 4K, and you can still see the details. So that's phenomenal, man. That's
we knew that was coming All Day. Come on.
I'll take it on the chin, bro. It's all good.
I'll take it on the chin. He says, no, I'll be. You know, the level of detail in the game's amazing. Xbot, you hear all these people. Do you see where you have to come around?
No,
this is not actually a crossfire.
I feel like this is an intervention.
Here's the thing. I completely get Xbot, right? Like, and that's perfectly fine because there's a lot of people. I remember when I played Horizon Zero Dawn and hated it, and people were like, "Are you crazy?" Or when I played The Last of Us and hated it, and people were like, "You must be just doing that for this
I'm
or
with
that
you on
reason."
The Last of Us, by the way.
No, man. And I give a good reason. I give a good reason why I don't like those games, and people still look at you like you're crazy. So I can't. But I mean, I did at least try those games. So maybe Xbot should maybe one day try the game. But I'm not
gonna spend $60 for a try on something that hasn't been
don't hit the red box, man. Boop boop.
Wait. Hold on. Hey, Xbot.
Yo, what's up?
Are you just not into Westerns at all?
Not at all. Like growing up, my grandmother straight off the boat from Italy, right? And she had this thing about cowboys, and she ran the TV in the living room.
You.
Yeah, she scarred me for life. I'm talking like Rifleman, Ponderosa, Bonanza, like Little House on the Prairie. I could go on and on. There was nothing but like Westerns or something similar to Westerns on my TV constantly, man. And it killed it, man. It absolutely killed it. I can't stand to look at like anything like cowboy related, man. It's just it is what it is. I can see where people are enjoying the game, and I am happy for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying it's a horrible game. Oh, don't try it, man. Cowboys are shit. It's just with me personally, I don't get
Cowboys
attached.
are shit. Right.
I don't get attached to cowboy stories.
Now, Xbot,
like that,
listen,
man.
I learned something about 2.5 years ago. Okay, and I've actually got about 15,000 bumper stickers being printed right now. Don't knock it till you try it.
Yep.
You better get out there and try this thing out. And listen, Enrique in the chat, shout out to Enrique who's here. I appreciate it. He goes, I'm giving away a copy of the game. Xbot, enter that goddamn contest.
All right, where you where is it on Twitter? I'll enter it, man. And like I said before, like I feel that I can't fork over $60 just to try it. But if people out there, people in the community, people on the panel, if you really think that if I play this game, I am going to get hooked into it and play it a lot.
There's probably a Mooch maniac that wears a 10-gallon hat and boots every day, and he's like, I got to get that Xbox guy this copy.
I got to done get that there copyright.
So I'll go ahead, Xbox, I'll go ahead and say in advance, you're welcome. Listen, I want to move on to something else. And again, Enrique and I were just having a conversation in the chat. This is something I've been talking about for about a week and a half, and there's some great people on this panel right now. Guys, this is not roundtable. I'm not going to call you. You jump in whenever the hell you want to talk. But I do want to say this much. Okay, the media went out and did their thing again, and they dig, and they dig, and then they dug, and then they dug, and they were trying to find people that were disgruntled. There's disgruntled people everywhere, okay? Go to a gas station. Ask him how he's doing. He won't even look at you. He'll just look at you with this glum look on his face, facing the other way. Listen, so my whole point with this is now the game comes out. Now the game has a 98 meta. Now the game is being called Game of the Year. Mm-hmm. Now you've got everybody in the media that can't stop playing it. They're quitting their jobs to play this game. Right?
I don't know about that.
And now, right? Punk, just play along. Punk.
Work today.
So right, now the crunch debate is over. Thank God these people work so hard. I've never seen people work this hard since the George Washington Bridge was built. I can't believe. Now it doesn't matter. Overtime, schmovertime. How much of a most ridiculous nonsense was this bullshit to come out and say, all we're ever supposed to do is pat the devs on the back and help them out, rub their shoulders, give them a break. I was doing that this time. And you've got all these guys from Kotaku and everybody out there saying, oh, no, this is horse shit. They only got 2 lattes before 8 p.m. Sorry about that all day. But come on, right? I mean, this is insanity. I mean, what do you guys think about this? Punk, let me start with you. Punk, I didn't get a chance to go through this. What do you think about the whole crunch situation before and after the launch of Red Dead Redemption?
Shitty time to come to me, dude. Hold on one second. No, shitty time. Hold on. Go to someone else real quick.
Oh, I'm going to go all day there.
All
day. You know what was going on. What's the deal with what happened with
What's the deal with this?
What's the deal with that? I don't what's that? Like all day, what do you think about this? Like, was it a big deal to you? Did you give a shit?
No.
That's great. Yes, I love it.
I mean, fuck. Did any employee currently that worked at Rockstar tweet out that he was having a hard time and he was stressed out or nothing, right?
No.
So what the fuck? Did people just pull this from an article and just ran with it?
That's what I'm trying to say. Where did this come from?
Because I think some of the stuff I've read, I think the article was pretty old to begin with. Like it wasn't a recent.
It was a new article, but it was an old employee.
Right. Okay. So that's what it was. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. The motherfuckers that's talking shit about it, they got it for free. They enjoying it. They're reviewing it. They're loving it. So if there's any employee that got a problem, speak the fuck up or shit. Enjoy your suffering.
Has anybody ever seen the movie Half Baked?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, where the guy's like, fuck you. You're cool.
You're cool.
I'm out of here. Right? That door was open.
Right.
If you don't like it, and believe me, we've all worked at jobs. We have all worked at jobs where something just sucked or the hour sucked, your boss sucked, that you didn't get enough time for lunch, someone yelled at you because you took an extra 5 minutes.
All of the above.
Right. It's all the above. And you know what you say? Fuck this, I'm out. Right? So what I'm saying is if these people stayed there and they got paid, this is not news. It's not news. You know what it's called? Life.
Yo,
What the hell do you
Yeah.
want from
reason
me?
why?
You know, why is this guy yelling?
Who's yelling?
Who's yelling? Yo, Mooch, the reason why
Thank God my family's used to this. Go ahead.
no, the reason why this is not new,
Weekly.
you guys know the Don, man, and
Yes.
he kind of
Oh.
he gave me a little insight into like the developer kind of like lifestyle and what they get used to when it comes to work and stuff like that. So when it comes to people working like crazy hours, especially going towards the end of the game or whatnot, it's normal. It's a normal thing. People know this before they get into the industry. If they're going to
Secret
school
language,
for
man.
this, huh?
It's like a secret language.
Yeah, it's kind of like an unwritten rule. You already know this. If you're going to school to develop graphics and stuff like that, you already know about what's going on with the video game industry. You already know kind of like the ins and outs. So to see an article like this and really not have anybody there who is supposed to be a part of like the professional gaming media not say, well, this is kind of a regular thing as well. They don't say that in there whatsoever. It makes me wonder, like, well, how close are you to the gaming industry then? Because I know firsthand, and I don't work at IGN. You know what I'm saying? I don't work at GameSpot or Kotaku or anything like that. And I already know that is kind of like the lifestyle of a developer. Whether you're freelance working on a salary, whether you're getting paid hourly, it does not matter. This is what happens when you get into what they call crunch time. Man.
But what about this angle? What about if I'm working 100 hours a week, but I like what I'm doing?
Not allowed.
You know what I mean?
That's
No,
a great,
not work
that's a
if
great
you look-
point.
Yeah,
How about
no,
this
it
for
doesn't-
massive hypocrisy? All of this drama about crunch and overworking is coming from the exact same gaming media that I guarantee you played Red Dead Redemption for 100 hours last week so they could get their reviews out, and they had no problem with it.
No
And they
problem.
do it with every
Shady.
game. That's right. They crunch every game. They're playing 12-hour shifts to make sure that their game
Outstanding point.
is the review is up first, but they're going to call out other companies for asking anything similar. I mean, I think that's insane. And then on another point, I've also seen Ubisoft now come out and claim that with the recent Assassin's Creed, there was zero crunch at all. So I think just going back and saying that, hey, it happens in the industry pretty often isn't a very good excuse, because Assassin's Creed is a masterpiece game and they claim to have had none whatsoever. So I think they just managed their time properly.
Yeah.
And that's that. I think to expect it out of somebody just because it's a certain industry is an unhealthy thought.
Well,
Whether it
Shady-
happens, sure, but
Shady,
it's
we're
not fair.
in good company right now. We've got somebody on the panel right now that does this, for his living. Alan, I know for a fact that you stay up and bust your hump to get these Forza. You worked 3 weeks straight because even before the game came out, you flew, from Ireland. You flew, I believe you flew to the UK once, then you flew to Seattle once. You've been all over the place, and then you did the review, and your review is ridiculous. It's like 10 pages long. And then right? Like, Alan, these
4 of those are on
It probably
HD.
took 100
those
hours.
are in HDR. correct? Yes. I mean,
Yeah, like all
Alan,
of
what's the deal with this? Like, tell people a little bit about what the media actually does that they're actually complaining about that you guys do on the regular. We all do.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's probably a lot easier actually if you're part of a bigger outlet, because when you look at IGN and GameSpot, they have like offices in the UK and the US and Australia and Europe, all over the place. Whereas for a lot of like smaller guys like me, it's just us, working in our bedrooms and that's it. But what I'll say is, like, for me, when it came to covering Horizon 4, there was a period of a few weeks there where you would just, you'd work incredibly hard because you want your coverage ready for embargo. To me, embargo doesn't mean this is the date when you start publishing coverage. To me, embargo means this is your deadline. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because if you publish after embargo, if you miss embargo, what happens is no one starts to care. If my Horizon 4 review came out the day after embargo,
Yeah.
no one would have, they'd gotten a few reads and whatnot, but it would not have done anywhere near as good as it did when it came out on time for the embargo. All the executives, all the official accounts, they promote the reviews the day the embargo lift. The day after, they stop talking about the review.
So let's break that down, Alan, because what you just said makes a whole lot of sense. The embargo is your deadline.
It is,
And
yeah.
their deadline is whatever the company set is going gold.
Yeah,
And
so
you have to get it done.
yeah. And the other thing as well is worth keeping in mind is like, I follow a few Rockstar employees on Twitter, and they said that, I saw one person in particular said that Red Dead Redemption 2 has been the most rewarding project they've ever worked on, and that every week they've worked on that game has been fantastic, except for 1 week. There was 1 week where things weren't so good. It was the week when all the articles came out about them working 100 hours because they knew it wasn't, accurate. And I know for a fact they were very grateful when the HR team gave them permission to talk about their work, because what was happening was they weren't allowed to talk about their work, and they're just seeing all these articles, and it's like, this isn't true, but we're technically not allowed to say anything about it yet. But then HR gives permission, and you see a bunch of tweets pop up saying, hey, I've only done, this small amount of overtime, or I haven't even done any overtime, or I do overtime every so often, and things like that. And you realize that it's nowhere near as bad. And the thing with the 100 hours comment is Dan Houser was actually, he said he was referring to himself and his leadership, like writing team, because they wanted.
When he said 100 hours, I didn't all of a sudden think, doom and gloom. I was thinking, what I'm thinking as a consumer? Holy shit, this game's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't even think that. I'm like, wow, these guys are busting their ass. This is why, and crap, I got to give Crap the credit. He said it years ago. He's like, dude, they named one of the only developing teams that really named themselves perfect. Like listen, if you are amazing at guitar or you have a garage band, you're in what do you strive to be? A fucking rock star. Like they are the rock stars of developing. And I don't think anybody's going to deny that. So when I read that and I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, these guys are hardcore. That's that rock star mentality. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I work there,
up. They don't even show up to E3 or anything.
They don't.
Exactly.
They do their own thing. And you know what as well? That's actually, the fact they're not at E3, that's actually a really good thing for employees, because what a lot of people don't realize is the crunch for the E3 demo is far worse sometimes than the crunch for launch, because your E3 demo is what the public is seeing for the first time. It's what the press is playing. It's what they're reporting on. It's what public are playing as well if they're at the event. There's a lot of eyes that are going to be on that demo. And what often happens is the demo ends up getting more work than the full game. It takes away from other parts of the game, and Rockstar don't have to worry about that. They don't have to worry about events. When it comes to the press playing the game, the Housers, they'll look at the game, they'll say, okay, that's a nice 2-hour segment there. Yeah, just take that and we'll let them play that. You know what I mean? Right. They don't make a demo specifically for the press. They go to a certain point of their game and put all the media on that point of the game. Let them play 2 hours from there. They'll see what it's like. And that's it. And that's really handy, because it means the employees are only targeting launch day. And the other thing as well about Rockstar is, where you have to give them credit, is they don't actually rush out a product. If the product isn't ready, they delay. And they can, that's a company that keeps delaying if they want. They will delay. And like this game, remember, we were meant to be playing this game last year. It was meant to be a fall 2017 game. So they pushed it back 12 months. I know one of the reasons was they wanted to redo a lot of the cinematics, because they wanted to make them widescreen. Previously, they were like full screen. They changed it to be widescreen. That was something that Dan Houser decided towards the end of development that they wanted to do. So that took a lot of work.
Every minute they delayed it was worth it. That's just basically what I have to say.
It just goes to show you that a game delayed is still a good game. And here's the thing, right? If they had announced that game 8 years ago, then people would be probably feeling the same way they feel about other delayed games.
Right.
But the fact that it didn't get announced until it was almost ready, and then it only faced like the one delay or whatever, I think people are much more
tolerant.
Just be cool with it. You know what I mean? But well worth the wait, man. Just absolutely phenomenal. They're gonna rack up a lot of awards. That Accolades trailer is gonna be incredible.
Yo, is the Metacritic still as high as
to 98 on Xbox?
Well, Mooch, do you remember Wednesday? You made me change. You had, just by what you said on Xbox Nation this past Wednesday.
Yeah,
I changed my prediction for the rating. Do you remember what the number was?
I do not.
98, brother.
Well,
Thank you very much.
98.
I took a safe 95.
It's 97, which was mine on PS4.
Yeah.
And then it ended up like, who would have thought if that Slant magazine gave it a 7 out of 10? That's
what was their reasoning, Crap?
It was trash.
They were like, their reason was they wanted some people to pay attention to them. I guess I don't know. Like I never.
Would you even
just
trust somebody called Slant Magazine? Like, what the fuck?
no.
That's
I
a
mean
good point.
they. Everybody has different tastes. But then again, why would you have somebody if they don't like that type of game? Why would you have them review it? You know what I mean? Like I don't understand it. But yeah, so everybody else just glowing reviews, and then and like Rockstar do get a little bit of favorable treatment because this game launched without the multiplayer that it's supposed to have, and nobody cares.
Blind. You know that,
But
right?
one thing I'll say about the multiplayer is, and again, I'm trying to not sound like a Rockstar PR person here, but their outlook, the way they look at it is the $60 you spend is for the single player experience alone. That's what you're putting your money towards. Red Dead Online is a separate game that's included as a bonus if you buy Red Dead Redemption 2. It's like a free-to-play bonus that's included. It's the same thing with Grand Theft Auto 5. When you buy the game, you're buying the single player. GTA Online comes with it as like almost like a standalone experience.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of their approach to it, and when Red Dead Online does come out in November, they're planning to launch it as a beta as well.
Right.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna make money hand over fist on that thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute because Boom brought it up this morning, and I've been thinking about it all day. There's something to be said about the whole like online thing that's going on. GTA 5 online is just there's something about it. Like if people can't stop buying into it. People buy money, they can't stop playing it. It's been in the top 10 now in NPD for I don't know how many years. What do you guys think about this? Like, do you think that the online they saw what they did right with GTA 5? They realized maybe what they did wrong with the free roam in the first Red Dead Redemption. What are they bringing to the Red Dead Redemption 2 multiplayer that will make people kind of stick around or even have interest in it? Because I'll be honest with you, the free roam thing that they did in the first Red Dead Redemption, and I'm not holding them I'm not holding them hostage to this because I mean, realistically, let's be honest, that was just a different world back then in the 360.
That suited the time.
It suited the time. What are they doing? Because I got news for you. Right now, there's cars and jets and airplanes and ramps and skyscrapers. You can what are you going to do in the Wild West? I don't want to buy a train.
If you remember when GTA Online launched, there were two big things you were saving up to buy: cars and apartments. In Red Dead Redemption Online, the equivalent to those are going to be horses and campsites. So you will get campsites in online. You will get to upgrade them, things of that nature. I don't know if you're able to invite other people into your camp yet or anything like that, but I presume you will be. That seems like the kind of thing they would do. Horses, you're going to be able to buy horses. You're going to be able to put them into your stable. You're going to be able to customize them in online, things like that. There's quite a lot.
You could put a wing on the back of it, like spoilers.
Are we trying to find things that they can sell us? I'm not a fan of that. I mean, I think they're gonna go all out with the clothes and everything else. But between me and Rockstar, because I know they're listening, don't go all out. I don't want robot flying horses and unicorns and weirdness. It works in GTA because that is a very thick satire game. But Red Dead, man, it's pushing a very immersive, realistic narrative, and I'd like it to stay online.
You know what I think they're going to wind up doing? Sorry, Bond. What I think they're going to really focus on, because it's going to be definitely with the time, is the heists. That was obviously a big add to Grand Theft Auto Online, and I think that the potential for robbing big banks and robbing trains and things of that nature, I think that's where they're going to focus on. And you know what? You got to remember, we did have Undead Nightmare, which was a masterpiece in itself. I could see that coming back.
All right, well, boom. Here's the thing. I like where you're going with the heists and everything like that, but you're going to have to spend that money on something, all right, to make it worth it. You're not going to rob a bank just to rob a bank and not run off with the spoils and do something with it. So what about this? And I'm just throwing this out there to the panel. I want to see what you guys think about this. You basically use the money. You work with your clan. You do a group going online, building your own town. You start, you build your own mayor's house. You can do, your poker, your bars, everything like that. Basically,
your settlement.
Yeah, you and your clan will build your own town, and it can be as prosperous as you want it to be. You can either do it in a legitimate way, or you can do it with like robbing trains and banks and other towns or other settlements and starting like rivalries with other gangs and stuff like that. That's where I see like the online going to where it's alive and people are in it for a long time.
Okay, but you sound like you're into it. All right.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's.
Oh, dude, I am the common sense gamer, man. I might not get into the cowboy thing, but I'm thinking in terms of the game and what would make it last for the people who are playing it, and that's the direction I would go, man.
It is kind of similar to some of the updates they did do with GTA Online, where you could buy businesses and grow them and make profit and stuff like that. I'm expecting they will do similar styled updates for Red Dead Online. As I was saying, when Red Dead Online launches, I'm thinking it's going to be quite a similar experience to what you had with GTA Online in 2013. You're going to get, all the bare bones, everything you need for a multiplayer experience, because it's launching as a beta as well. And then I think it'll flourish kind of like every month or so as they add new updates, similar to what they did with GTA Online. I know for a fact they're going to have missions in free roam that you can do with your friends. You can actually form posses, and you can take on rival posses and stuff like that. And
yeah. you said posses. All right, I was thinking something else. My bad.
Yeah. You're going to be able to do hunting with your friends and things like that. So those are the types.
I want that. I want to see that damn battle royale mode that's cooking.
Really crap?
My hopes up.
You know what I thought would be an insane mode way back in Red Dead
yeah.
1 was, you guys ever play Buck Hunter? You go out to the pub, you're playing Buck Hunter, something like that. Make a mode like that in Red Dead Redemption where you put you and your buddies in a little shooting range and you're looking at maybe a mountainscape, and then just flood that area with animals flying by for a minute, and everyone just shoots them all as much as you can for different points.
Sounds like an acid trip, bro.
I think it'd be
just
a little weird mini game.
It's like a 2018 version of Duck Hunt.
Yeah,
in a way, it is. It is. It's just got such amazing animations. It would be hilarious to see 20 deer running up the mountain getting lit up.
There's certain worlds that really call for battle royale, and I think
Shady, I don't know about you now.
I'd love to be out in the Wild West and have something like that where it's a battle royale. It'd be cool.
How many different 6 shooters are you going to pick up? Come on.
Yeah, I hear you,
Punk.
Punk.
You got to think about the first Red Dead Redemption. I spent about maybe 200 hours on the multiplayer. I played a lot of it. So
really?
Yeah, me too.
A lot.
All day. Please tell me. And don't get me wrong. You don't understand. I love the single player. I played the multiplayer, but I didn't get into it. What did you do for that much time?
Well, basically, we did a lot of the free roam stuff. There was little missions you would do. It wasn't varied. There was only maybe 3 or 4.
Right.
Little hideouts you can take.
Yeah, and I took those down.
Money.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, you could do that. There was team deathmatch. There was different modes, different objective-based games. But
remember when you started that? You had to ride like a goat, or you had to ride like a little sheep, or something?
No, it was actually a pony.
Was it a pony? Oh, there you go. That was great. I thought it was a sheep.
No, you know what? I could have swore it was a pony or a donkey. One of the other.
It was something that was you definitely wanted to keep playing, so you got off that. Whatever it was,
right.
off it.
It would have been
the
zebra that you were trying to get.
Yeah, the zebra.
That was fun. Yeah.
So the multiplayer was already. That multiplayer set up GTA 5's multiplayer, bar none. So I think they're just going to improve on that and build off that because it was already great to me. So.
All right, well, listen, that's fine, but here's the thing: they need to add more than just that.
They're going to do
element
and stuff.
Yeah,
they have to.
Yeah.
But don't fall into the trap of thinking it's not ready. Come on, when GTA came out 2013, it took them a whole year to put heist in. They're doing this strategically. They're doing it on purpose.
Yes,
they want to make sure people.
I think the delay all day had something to do with that too.
Of course,
right?
Of course, because it makes no sense. How the fuck it's 5 years later you still can't get this right?
Right. There's no way. That's what I'm saying. There's no way. And the beta comes out when? November?
November. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the campaign did.
For a year.
I'm expecting this online to set standards again for open world online gameplay.
Somebody explain this to me like I'm a 6-year-old, please. What, for the love of God, besides a John Marston hat and a pair of Xbox socks, do you get for the Ultimate Edition that I'm missing out on?
Hey, honestly, I see some cool shit. The shot glass was cool. It's a collapsing shot glass. I seen a little barrel, a feeding tray. Then you can make a train, a gun set, some other shit.
I haven't seen anything.
I mean, some of the stuff that came in the collector's edition was like super 99 cent.
Oh no, not that
Oh,
stuff.
the
No,
physical.
they know not the. I'm talking about like the ultimate. I should have said the ultimate edition.
I think there's a couple bonuses. Your core stats are improved a bit. I think you make more money while you play, which you can also turn those off in the options, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yes.
The options in this game are next level deep as well. Like you get to fine tune it amazingly, which is fantastic. And I think you're also missing like a bank heist or two and a couple other missions.
So wait, let me ask you this. So for the folks like myself that just have the regular edition and we're missing out, is this an add-on that can be purchased or it's not available?
Not yet available. I'm pretty sure they'll sell it later. And to be honest, I don't know if you're going to be missing out. This game is so densely packed that even if you don't get to go and rob this bank, I'm pretty sure you'll be robbing other ones. Like, don't worry about it.
Mooch, I do want to throw something in about the online because GTA 5 they had the shark cards. I think with Red Dead Redemption 2 they're gonna have Pony Express MoneyGrams that you'll be able to buy and get in-game currency. That's where I think they're gonna go.
No, they're gonna have golden nuggets, bro.
Yeah,
golden nuggets.
There was a lot of people addicted to just playing poker online in Red Dead 1. Like, that was their thing. So I could see a lot of those online currency being used for in-game gambling.
I don't think we have a decent poker game on Xbox One, so that might be something. There might be a whole community just dedicated to playing poker in this game, man.
I have no idea why this struck me so funny, but Immortal in the chat goes, I read on Twitter, Mooch, that someone's exclusive horse died. I don't know.
Yeah. I heard that too. I laughed so hard.
I don't know what that actually means. Does that mean it's something that they paid for?
You can accidentally kill your horse. So
the guy who was playing on PlayStation and he got that version that came with the the extra horse, and he accidentally killed that horse.
He must have killed him by reading the native 4K news on the app. It can happen.
It can happen.
Day. Yeah.
All day.
He probably like hit into a rock and like killed the horse that way. Couldn't see the rock because
there's no that checkerboarding is pretty bad, man. I gotta say.
Oh,
you gotta go. Hey,
Crap! Did you buy both versions?
No, I didn't, man. Did you see the face off? Wow, who would go buy the PlayStation 4 version after that?
That face-off was intense. Normally, they're always zoomed in like 5,000%. And we're all kind of like, who does that? Yeah, and these were just the game, and it really did stand out. Not that the other versions don't look...
chewing something? Is that Starburst? Or is
it sounds weird.
That's not me. Not me.
Was it Punk?
It was not me.
Oh, it was
that was just me being a dumbass.
Somebody's chewing gum or Starburst or something.
I hate gum. So listen, it's not me, I promise.
You don't hear that? Come on.
I do hear something, but I don't... there it is.
Yeah.
Wait, ready? Wait for it.
I think it's a little bit of someone else's audio picking up.
No, that's got to be somebody chewing something, right?
It sounds like audio feedback.
I'm going to say this much.
It sounds juicy, man. It does sound juicy.
I don't know if this is the situation, but I will say, of course, typical Friday night. I think Friday night is when YouTube works on their back end of shit. Because like every Friday night, there's always something wacky that goes on, and I always get the brunt end of it. So I'm hearing a little feedback. I don't think the audience is hearing it, thank God, but I do think we're getting it here and there, and I don't know what it is because I did a show this morning with Boom, and there was absolutely no issues at all. So
at least we don't have a global YouTube shutdown like 2 weeks ago on RDX, but it didn't keep us down.
That is true. You guys know that's right. I wish we could going. Ain't nothing gonna keep you down. All right, now. Thank you.
Right now.
I get it. Thank you, Crap. I appreciate that. What do you guys think about this? Like, here's my thing, guys. I want to talk about this. Like, we talked about it through the show. We talked about it early on, and we're not done talking about it. It's basically Metacritic. I've said this for a long time. I remember saying this to my parents. My parents used to always be like, nothing like Consumer Reports. I don't buy it unless Consumer Reports says it's quality. And I used to be like, that doesn't mean shit. So my whole thing is this. When people are like, Mooch, this thing's going to get a 98 Metacritic. You need to purchase it. No, I don't. I don't really give a shit. But I will say this much. So since that's the industry standard and we're going by it, now you see the user one. And the user one for the Xbox one, because of the salt, is like around 56, 57. And the PlayStation one's in the 7s. That means the PC guys are hitting both. I mean, really, they are.
Yeah, for real.
My whole point here is like, all right, fine. If we're going to keep the Metacritic score from the actual quote-unquote professionals in the media, that's one thing. Why are we keeping the user one there?
I
Like,
agree.
what are we doing? That's
agree.
like John Doe public. Who cares?
Oh well, they do.
When was the last time anybody in this
Metacritic-
panel, anytime on this panel, when was the last time you were out buying a pair of sneakers and you turned around to somebody who's just there? You're like, hey, you. Who, me? Yeah, you. You think he's looking on me? They'd be like, I don't give a fuck. Like, nobody cares.
No, I'm gonna start doing that at the mall, man.
Who cares what somebody else
Look,
thinks?
the only time I ever look at user reviews is on Amazon. That's it.
All right. That's
Yeah, I was
but
thinking the
that's
same.
because people are paying for it right there.
Right.
Mooch,
Exactly.
Mooch, the only people who care about like the user reviews on Metacritic are the people who run the website Metacritic, because it deals with what they call interaction, and it's something that they need to have there. So this way people feel like
Credible.
their voice is going to be heard to some extent. They're able to interact with the website and see kind of like that their button press right there had an interaction, and people can see exactly what those opinions are. That's why it's there.
I think it's anybody that's in gaming, that's just disrespectful. Imagine you're sitting there and maybe you're not privy to what's going on and you're kind of working at Rockstar, and you're sitting there and you're like, well, wait a minute. Why am I getting a 5.6 and a 7.2? This is ridiculous. You can clearly see that the professionals are saying this game's amazing. The users are happy. We're selling these copies like mad. It's not even selling copies. It's selling consoles. And both companies are doing their own strategic moves. My point here is that when does this all we got to change things that aren't working? Don't you guys feel like that? We're at a point right now where we're sitting here, we're calling people out. We're telling the industry what works and what doesn't work because we got our ear to the ground. And it's not because this is Mooch's opinion. This is not Mooch's opinion. These are hundreds, maybe thousands over the years of people that kind of get in touch with all YouTubers and tell us what they think is kind of a good rationale or a good Metacritic or a good metric. And now you see what's not. So, I mean, realistically, I mean, Alan, you got to talk to some of these. What do people say in the industry when people are like, well, what the hell is this? Like that user number, that user measure doesn't hold any water.
Yeah, like I would never when I'm buying something like an overall user review score, I just couldn't give a shit about. Why? Why would it's
Right.
just clear on Metacritic that people just a lot of the time just slam negative reviews on stuff for no reason whatsoever. I think it happened as well with Horizon 4. It's just I don't get it. It's funny as well. I actually when I kind of started off doing games journalism and stuff, my big goal with reviews was always to make it onto Metacritic. That was the one thing I always wanted to do. Over the last year or so, I actually couldn't give a toss.
Absolutely.
I
love the European term.
Yeah, right.
And I want to start using the F. I'm done with the F word. From now on, I'm only using bloody. Go ahead.
Or bollocks.
Right.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah, no,
I couldn't give a toss.
I couldn't give a toss. Oh, bloody shit. What the hell does that mean?
I'll tell you what made me really happy. We're not on Metacritic, but Microsoft recently put out an accolades trailer for Horizon 4, and when they flashed up a couple of the review scores, ours was one of them. And I'm like, oh, sick. So you don't have to be on Metacritic to get that kind of treatment. So I'm like, cool.
Well, you know what, Mooch? I want to add to this because I think the relevance of user score on Metacritic is like you and Crap said, it never was. It's
Right.
almost the same principle as the NPDs. Like the NPDs don't do certain things. Like they don't take digital, or they're leaving out certain numbers. I think both the services like that are becoming more and more not irrelevant in gaming.
I agree. And I'm glad somebody's finally saying it. I mean, to be honest with you, it's just I think we need to change what we've been used to and come up with a new system. I mean, that's just my take on it. I mean,
the whole thing's kind of bad because you have a lot of the developers who rely on scores on those to make their bonuses. So
That's
true.
Which is
the only user reviews you should worry about are the people you know.
Yes, all day.
Very true.
And all day, you know what? Let me just take, and I know this sounds like a shameless plug for all of us, But realistically, that's why YouTube has grown so much. That's why the gaming YouTubers have grown so much in people's popularity. Because to be honest with you, they've all assembled and kind of found that the YouTubers they agree with are kind of just get along with the most. Maybe it's the personality, maybe it's the game type, maybe it's just whatever. And I think that's why you've seen this grow. And it's funny, it's kind of ironic that I'm leaving myself out. I'm leaving myself out of it. But I'm just saying, like, I think different YouTubers have put a threat on the media, the gaming media, because there's people, right? I don't go to IGN or Kotaku or GameSpot for any of their really rationale. I watch it sometimes just for a chuckle. It's good for a laugh. But I usually go to other people for people I trust, and they really break it down the way that a gamer breaks it down, not the way a corporate business breaks it down. That's myself personally. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I think Crap made a good point. They get paid on that. What do you think?
You know what I view all these user scores as myself is individually people can be pretty smart, but the bigger the group of people, the more dumb shit you tend to see. I don't know what it is, but the bigger the group of humans that get together, you just see a lot of stupidity there. Whereas individually in that group, there's some standout smart guys. Find those guys. Find the guys that you enjoy and resonate with and go with them.
Well, you know the thing though, Shady, to be honest with you, you're not wrong. But I gotta say, realistically, that's everything in corporate America. I mean, the minute you start dealing with like these massive companies, you're always gonna have that bozo department that just f's things up. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. So I mean, when you have something like as tight knit as you have, like I'm picking on names here. You know, there's the Angry Joes of the world. It's not whether you like them or not. That's irrelevant. But it's him, maybe a producer, one other person. They kind of keep their content very tight. And that's something that you have to understand. When you go to like an IGN and you hear like the Alanas and the Greg Millers that have left, now they start to open their mouth. Now they start to talk about the industry. And they tell you how kind of just like everything was kind of scatterbrained. Yeah, right? And everything was all over the place and it was kind of a mess. And that's fine. I mean, listen, I'm not bashing IGN for that because you could tell that's a loosey-goosey kind of operation. You could tell that people come and go. Whenever somebody's not there, like the minute, like what's her name there? What was her name? Crap, your favorite friend there from the Fix. Naomi left. They threw in Alana. Alana left. Yeah. They fit a girl.
By the way, I have not watched that since Naomi left.
You may want to check it out now.
I was watching Kind of Funny the other day, and I forgot the other dude's name. He's been there like 15 years.
He left.
Yeah.
What was his name there? Something was his name? Francis.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, Frank or Francis. He left, and he's been there. He's one of the originator. He was there from the beginning all day, I think, or very close to it. He's been there for a very long time. I think IGN's like got 20 years under their belt, and he's been there for like 15. And he's gone now. These guys are all kind of taking off because they're like, wait a minute. I'm doing all this work. I'm doing all this editing. I'm doing all this directing. I play these games, and I'm giving 75% of my money that I could be making to IGN. I'm going to go do this on my own. And a lot of folks are doing this now. And I mean, it's not just the folks that are doing it here. It's on a larger scale. It's on a smaller scale. And I encourage anybody to give it a shot. That being said, I kind of want to move over to another subject real quick because it's funny. And I'm so glad that All Day's here because we've talked about it over the weeks. And when the initial thing came out All Day, I was pretty excited about it. I was excited that I was going to be able to change my PSN name. It's not a bash session by no means. I was legitimately excited about it. That's a big deal. I'm the Mooch 78. This is what I am on YouTube. So I was that on PlayStation. That's fine because I was that on Xbox before I was able to change it. And my whole thing here is that this is my thing. I think right now, okay, I know everybody on the internet right now is like, take the L. My whole thing is this. Sony already had their consumer base plenty happy or content with the fact that they were not going to be able to change their name. They come out with this beta alpha, and there's all these problems. Yeah, it's worse. Wouldn't you say that? Now, you say this all the time, All Day. What about, you always use this. I think this is one of your things. You say, what about the person that's not watching all the shit we do, all the things we read? What about the person that comes home and goes, wow, I can enter the beta? I'm in. And then they change their name and they lose all that data. Don't you think, this is my thing, and I want to hear it from you because I know you're definitely a diehard, PlayStation fan at heart. Right. Don't you think they should have just left things alone, let it be the ongoing running joke that nobody cared about anymore? Anyways, it was just like something we took for granted, and not do this.
I 100% agree. Like This is why you didn't hear about it for so many years. This is why people kept on clamoring for it, and they kept on ignoring
That's right.
it, and, you know, sidestepping it, not because they knew it was fucked, right?
Yes.
So they should have just left it alone. Now you might lose data, DLC. Was it any game purchased between April 1st, 2018 and back? You can have some issues.
Yes.
What the fuck? So to me, it seems like your games and all your stuff you've purchased are tied to that name and not your email. How Xbox does it, Steam, or whatever. All that stuff tied to your email. So the infrastructure is completely fucked. And if you knew that going in, why even try to temper with it to fuck everything up?
I agree.
You just left it alone. Fuck the name change. You're stuck with Butt Muncher 1-1.
Well, yo, check this out. All day. I want to ask you something about this as well. Now, seeing as Sony is doing this, I've gone on record saying that what they did is, instead of going at the core of the problem and going into like the structure of PSN, they found a workaround for it. But to me, this is also thinking about the PlayStation 5 that's coming up. You know, when Xbox One came out, they built up a new structure for Xbox Live, you know, and we got like better quality in terms of our chat and stuff like that. I was hoping that Sony would do the same thing moving into PlayStation 5, but now seeing that they're putting this in beta, to me, it seems like they're going to use the same structure, the same PSN, even moving forward into PS5. Do you see that too, man?
What do you mean? What changes? Like quality of life changes in general?
Like, yeah, just building it back from the ground up to in order to cater to kind of like a newer generation. Maybe get it, you know, building it more stable. Well, like they did it with the Xbox One. They're coming out with new hardware, and they went back in and they kind of.
You're gonna ask your own question, bro. We live in the patch season, bro. This is patch era. They can patch features in, patch whatever they need to make it more subjective to, you know, the new generation.
But they built their PSN house. Let's be honest, on sticks.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Going forward, they can maybe change.
Yeah, like getting ready for the PlayStation 5. I was hoping they would go and kind of rebuild PSN again, get it stronger.
But the problem with that is, it's like, from the outside looking in, or people that's using it, just regular Joe Schmoes, it works fine. Like, they wouldn't know the difference, right? The majority of people. When I'm on it almost every day, 90% of my time, I don't really notice any issues. Only thing I've noticed is maybe the PSN store a little bit slow, download times are slow. But other than that, it works the same as Xbox. I mean, the quality of life changes will come in patches. They're not about to do it. I mean, they could.
Well, I think all day, maybe, and maybe I'm picking up what Xbox is putting down, or maybe I'm wrong with it. But what he's saying is that here we are so close to the next generation. Right. And we're going in, and they're saying, hey, we hear you guys. We want to help you. So this is our solution. And if this has got such, a detrimental effect, that I think what Xbox is saying is, if they were so close to the PS5, not do this and have a great answer for it moving forward. His point is, there is no patch. There is no spoon. Okay? You know, it's kind of like the old Matrix thing. There is no spoon. So this is it. Basically, what he's saying is PS5 is going to have PS4s, basically, they're the brains of the UI, not the actual hardware, by no means.
But the network itself, man.
Right.
Yeah.
It's in beta right now. I don't know. I mean, they could get an overhaul, but I mean...
otherwise, what they would have done...
Forget the name change thing. I'm taking it a step further. I'm saying... What you just said right now all day, I agree with you. I mean, I've been playing quite a bit on PlayStation recently with Spider-Man and a few other games. And here's Until Dawn. And here's my thing. I agree with you to a certain point, but I don't see growth. I see stagnant and improving where we are. You know what I mean? I don't see like that jump forward. Now, I think a lot of the things that Xbox gives as far as their features, I think some of them are dumb, irrelevant, and not useful. Well, but they're constantly evolving, and they kind of built Windows 10 to do that.
So let's pick it apart then.
Right.
What would you want to see?
Good point. Infrastructure that can change on the fly. And I know that's vague, but the future's vague.
Okay. I mean, I need examples
with that. I know you want examples. I don't have a Microsoft business or employee card, but I mean, what I'm trying to say to you is, though, like, you know what I mean, though, all day, right? Like, I think you were one of the first people to make one of the funniest comments on Twitter when you said, "Oh wow, Xbox has got 16 people in the chat. Glad I can go in there and not hear one person I'm trying to talk to or something like that." Like my point being is right. And don't get me wrong, you weren't wrong. You weren't wrong. It's craziness, but there's craziness, and then there's listen. We live all day. We live in the world of options. I'm not that guy. I'm actually more in your camp. I'm traditional, but realistically, the fact that Xbox can have 16 people in a party chat, I don't see that, whether that's a value to you or not, as a Sony guy, and I can see a lot of Sony fans being like, that means nothing to me, Mooch. That's fine. But the fact that they can change on the fly, So some of that is good. Some of that's useless.
Right.
With Sony, here we are. You got people that are not us, not the people on the panel here. Nobody cares. I got the name I got. It is what it is. Like you said, if you're still McLovin, you're still McLovin. That's your problem. But I mean, the thing about But the problem of the matter is that like people are asking them, "Can you change on the fly?" And they're like, "Not really." And that's kind of a scary situation because you got 80 million people, 87 million people with PS4s right now. A lot of those people got PS Plus.
Right.
All of those people can't change shit. And that's a problem moving forward because now we're not ending generation gaps anymore like we used to. Everything blends together. So now PS4 is PS5. You don't realize this. You're already, all day, especially you because you're a PlayStation fan, you're already, and we, as Xbox fans, we are already in the Xbox Scarlet. You are already a PS5. PS5 and Sony are counting on your business. So what I'm saying is you're already with them for PS5. So if they can't bring over all of your past, present, and future with you, that's a problem. But that's not an exact answer, but you see where I'm going with this? I'm giving you a broad answer.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean,
that's my only thing, and that's my only concern. I think an Xbox. I don't know. I took your words and kind of ran with it there. I made a whole goddamn constitution out of your fortune cookie, but right.
Mooch, you got to step down from the podium. God,
I got to get the hell off this podium. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about Fallout 76 for a minute, folks.
Oh, no. Go back on your podium.
Okay, let me get back up there. Real quick. Hold on, wait. Let me step back
up
there. Who wanted to talk about Fallout? Is that Punk?
Nobody.
No, I said move
Nobody.
the hell
Wow,
on.
nobody wants to. Okay, great. Apparently, me and nobody will be in the wasteland soon. All right, great. So let's talk about NPDs here for a second. So NPDs came out. PlayStation 4 won to absolutely.
Rising.
Hey, you better watch your mouth. Watch your fucking mouth.
Brian Baker writes the Mooch Bill of Rights. Listen, honestly, we didn't know. All right, PS4 won the generation. Let's stop the month bullshit. We know they won the generation, but I gotta say, there's some fun stuff coming out now. You know, except for Matt Pix. God bless Matt, who's out there. Matt Piscatella there, who does the NPD thing. You know, he does his 15 minutes of fame once a week or once a month for like 3 days. But like other than that, there's a lot of great categories that are coming up that we need to look at. And there's a lot of great like progress in the Xbox, categories. They're losing hardware, no doubt about it. But they're up in like, players per month and games this and that and digital this and that. And they're in their Xbox One. Xbox One X sales are doing great. For a $500 console, guys, it's not doing bad. I mean, crap, what do you think about this? I know you're big on the numbers. I know you're probably playing Red Dead because you're too damn quiet tonight.
Well, you're yelling, so what can you do?
That's what I do for a living. What do you want from me, crap? What do you think, though? I mean, do you see some of the? I see a lot of prosperity coming out of Xbox's other columns.
Gotta pay the bills, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry, Anthony Porter. Apologies. Shout out to Mooch, crap. So shady and Xbox 442. I like how everyone they just throw you all kinds of numbers. By the way, but crap, go ahead.
Yeah, real quick, so shout out to Anthony Porter, man. He brought Christmas early to Shady this year with Red Dead. Thanks, bro.
Nice.
Anthony Porter, I'm looking for Fallout 76. I hope you're a fan, and my name is Bruce on Xbox. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, you know what? I think what they just did their quarterly thing.
Yes, they did.
Xbox division itself, $11 billion over the last year.
It's good money.
Almost 60 million Xbox Live users. What the hell was the other thing? Oh, apparently, Game Pass is through the roof. This realistically just gives like Phil, if he had to pitch any of this stuff to Satya Nadella, is like, look, we're making it. It's great, right? So then he's probably like, here's a checkbook. This is why we're going to see them get more studios and things like that. Just the it's all going good, and eventually people will have to get out of that whole notion that people are just using that trial again. They gave it away for $1. Like, okay, we get it, but once you're done with that, you can't use that again. You have to pay.
That's right.
So like eventually people will come to realize exactly kind of what's going on. And and I think that Microsoft is really onto something here. Like, I don't think they might be the only ones that with the infrastructure to be able to do this kind of thing, and or I think it takes balls too, right? Like to go, okay, whenever we do these $100 million exclusives, we're going to let people access these in a service. Sure, it could kill our sales, but it hasn't. Just look at Forza Horizon 4, and Alan probably knows about this. It had the biggest sales of any racing game on any Xbox ever.
Yep.
Right. Like,
but you got to think about it too, Crap. A lot of people that were interested in Forza Horizon 4 picked up Game Pass just to play it.
Yeah, and then they'll buy it because and they'll buy it. If they love it, which why wouldn't you? Because it's an amazing game. And that doesn't count. Like Game Pass doesn't count towards their sales. So when they're like, it's the most bought or it broke records, it's the biggest selling racing game ever on an Xbox platform, and it's sold better. It's the biggest one in Forza. Like that's huge.
There's a scenario that happens a lot as well, especially in the Forza community, because like there's a lot of young people who play Forza. So what happens is every year it's their parents who are buying them Forza, and what would typically happen is they get it for Christmas. But because of Game Pass, it means they can start playing it from launch day before they get the full game at Christmas.
Yeah,
so now they're gonna have to get a wheel. Mom, I want the fucking wheel.
I want that wheel too. Listen, the monthly payment thing that Xbox is doing with Game Pass, I can't believe it is great, and I got to tell you, not great for me, great for the public. Here's my thing. Let me just tell you, I have a lot of my friends that they all have. You guys all know this. We're on YouTube every day, every one of us, right? And do you guys see the YouTube Red? Like, buy YouTube Red Premium, buy YouTube, and I'm like, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. Get the fuck off. No thanks. And so anyway, my whole point is that, but I have a lot of my friends that they subscribe to it and they watch all their concerts of their favorite musicians. You can watch everything you've ever wanted when you pay for that red channel on YouTube. And then there's YouTube TV, and people are getting, I'm just trying to give you guys, right? I'm just trying to give you guys an example of what people are paying $10, $12, $15 a month for. That doesn't even include all the things like Apple Music and this and that and blah, blah, blah. People got Sonos, people doing Pandora payments, Spotify. Right? Spotify, Voodoo, it's everywhere, right? So what I'm saying to you is these people, Microsoft saw this, they're like, wait, we can get in on this, right? You've got GameFly that's making money off of people waiting for a disc to show up. We can do this like overnight. So what I'm saying to you is that even though this is not for the hardcore, man, it is for the casuals, and they are gonna make a bloody fortune. You're like that, Alan. That was for you. The bloody fortune off of this goddamn thing. Punk, what do you think, Punk? I want to get Punk involved. I know Punk's like, God damn it, he's putting like eye drops in his eyes to stay up. I'm keeping him awake.
I heard story for a second, but I'm not sure, man.
But Punk? What do you think about this? Like, I mean, do you see like this is a big deal? Like, NPD is no longer about just the console. Because if me and you are investing, Punk, and we're putting money into Microsoft stock, I don't give a shit if they lost to PlayStation and Nintendo this month. I just give a shit that they're making a lot of money, so we make a lot of money. That's kind of how it is right now, right?
Absolutely.
I'm glad you agree.
I thought you were going to say more of that.
Brilliant.
Look, dude, like I can fucking care less about MPDs every time they come out. Like you said, dude, like PlayStation, they've owned this. We're not going to catch up. We could sell 30 million tomorrow, would still be fucking behind. Like, so there's no point. So, and praise the PlayStation, they're kicking ass. I own a PlayStation. I was there fucking day one with my fucking car at PlayStation midnight release with my fucking license plate to say Xbox gamer. And everyone's like, who the fuck's this Xbox gamer motherfucker getting a goddamn PlayStation? You know, dude. Again, I give zero fucks about MPD. It's great. The numbers are there. Cool. Same thing with Metacritic. Numbers are there. Cool. Zero fucks given. Game Pass, amazing. There's so many subscriptions out there. People complain about $10, but realistically, we're all spending like fucking hundreds of dollars because we got, like you said, we're putting it on fucking Voodoo and fucking TV.
That's what I'm saying. Everything's
like, holy shit.
You say $10 a month. Like right now, honestly, everybody, I'm announcing it tonight. Mooch Radio, $10 a month. That's all you gotta do. Please tell your friends and family.
I'm paying fucking credit cards $25 a month. I mean, like it's ridiculous.
We got the Mooch Pass,
right? There's a Mooch Pass. Yeah, $7.99 if you sign up tonight.
for free.
That's right. I'm like, did you not go to work today?
Yes.
Just Mooch yelling at you for no reason.
You got an app, dude. You need your own fucking app.
Wouldn't be bad.
Press
Wouldn't
the
be
button
bad.
or
Punk.
something.
These t-shirts.
At least t-shirts.
Throwing in for free.
Hey, you know, people have like the Staples button. That was easy. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, like that'd be amazing. I'd purchase that in a heartbeat. You need to go ahead and patent that, and I'll be your day one purchase.
Well, let me say this much, Punk. I appreciate that. I want to get into kind of the XO event. The XO event's coming up, and right, it's kind of been like this big thing that's been going on for a while.
If they show fucking Banjo-Kazooie,
is it? No. Well, listen, Banjo-Kazooie holds no place in Mooch's heart.
Yeah, same.
Get myself out this fucking house.
You know what? Here's the thing, and you know, crap. You said a bunch of really good things on Xbox Nation about how their Xbox is trying to appeal to a wide audience.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's fair to say, and you know, look, I'm going to say this. For me, Banjo-Kazooie is going to be a jump out of my seat announcement because I'm such a fan of the games. Like I love the characters, and I really want to see them come back in a big way. Now, again, every game is not going to be for every gamer, you know, and if you like every game that comes out, hey, good on you. Not everyone. Here's a perfect. I mean, we talked about it in the beginning of the show. Xbot is just not. He knows what Red Dead is. He's not racing to go buy it. So, you know, and that's understood. But for with the XO event, again, we talked about this early today on Breakfast with Boom, and shameless plug. And the thing is this: Microsoft is going to have the world's eyes on them, and this is a magnificent opportunity to finish 2018 in a strong manner going into 2019 and the next generation with all of your wares on display. And I think this is a good opportunity because you got to remember, you know, how crazy did the media go for PSX? Like bananas, right? It was PSX everywhere. So now PSX is canceled and they have nothing challenging them. And certainly the Game Awards with Jeff Keighley, who's a hack, is not going to take center stage over XO18. And Crap also alluded to the fact that we've had huge announcements at the XO events in the past. So I'm expecting to be completely blown away.
Boom, let me ask you a quick question, dude.
Yes, sir.
How would you feel if they announced Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts 2?
I would be just as excited, to be honest with you. I didn't beat the Nuts and Bolts, but I played the heck out of it. I mean, look, the thing is this. I think what they're going to do is it's either going to be Banjo 3, and we got that information from a rare employee who had it on his bio and then deleted it when someone called him out on it, or they're going to redo the original and do a 20th anniversary.
They're not going to redo the original. It's going to be it's got to be something new because they already redid the original in the 360. I think
they did. Yes, they did. You are right.
But look, the whole idea with the nostalgia thing is just look at the Crash Bandicoot stuff. You got the Spyro stuff. You even have Ratchet and Clank, right, which came back in a big way on PS4. Now's the time to strike. You have literally the 20th anniversary is this year. Right. So you have the 20th anniversary. You have they just filed and renewed their rights for Banjo-Kazooie. They just did that, right? You have it possibly leaked that they're going to be in the Smash Brothers as well. Yes. So now is the time to strike. I don't think that's going to be their only thing. I think that you will have PlayStation guys who were excited or brought up Knack or that like I said, Ratchet and Clank, and then they're going to have a problem with this for what reason? I don't know. Banjo-Kazooie by all parts has been a huge boom in the platform. Banjo-Kazooie 1 was better than Mario 64. Yes. People didn't give it the credit that it deserved, but it's that damn good. It's like the epitome of a great platformer, and I think it deserves a true new game.
See,
and
I agree with you, Crab.
And I get it. Like, not everybody's going to be into it.
I just don't want it to be. I said this earlier in Breakfast with Boom. I'll say it again. If Phil Spencer says Banjo-Kazooie is the drop the mic, I'm going to be there on the stage to grab it before it hits the ground and hand it back to him. Be like, that ain't the end. Right? Like, no. That ain't the
Chief.
Don't you drop the mic on Banjo.
No, hey,
Like,
Lucky. I think it's gonna be
crap. You said it was better than Mario 64?
Yeah, I still think it's better than Mario 64.
Mean personally?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn. All right.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Banjo and Mario 6. Listen, I've been playing. I told you guys this. Even when everybody's a Sega fan, I was a huge Nintendo fan. I was all Nintendo all day. Even when the console wars were going on back then, I was all Nintendo. Fought for it the whole nine, right? And I'll be honest with you, Mario 64. Maybe it was because I grew up in the 2D two-dimensional era. But like that first time with that, I didn't dig it. The Banjo thing, I didn't dig it. I got used to it, of course. Like that's the world we grew into. But,
I mean, if you look at it, people give Mario such such acclaim and stuff. And true, if you look at the Metascore, in 94. But if you look at Banjo, it's a 92. It's not like it's
Absolutely.
it's not like it was like living in the shadow. And if you look at a lot of the things that it did a lot of things better, in my opinion, than and a lot of the reviews even say that.
I think your case holds water. My only thing, and I think maybe what All Day was alluding to, I'm not sure, is people are like, well, you got Banjo. And I'm like, yeah, but don't tell me to show up for XO for Banjo. Like that's supposed to be filler.
No. I mean, just look at the things that are ramping up. People are acting like it's going to be one thing, and I don't want to get like people too hyped. But like I said, right. I read off the list of stuff at the last XO. You don't do these things for Whistling Dixie. You aren't going to hold a big event like this. And
crap, I'm with you. Yeah,
you're going to hold a big event like this and announce something as shitty as.
Phil's not flying to Mexico because he wants to drink the water. You know what I mean?
You're not going to announce a shitty thing like a Medieval remake. No, that would be pointless to have a big event and just do that, right? You got to have other announcers. Look, Aaron Greenberg and his entire team just met with Ninja Theory. Right? They're
huge.
Filing paperwork for studios. This is going to be a big deal, folks. Microsoft has all eyes on them. You're going to get studio announcements. You're going to get game announcements. Phil Spencer said they held things back from E3 because they had other things in mind. When myself and people like Tim Dog were saying they were going to do an event later in the year, people said we were full of shit. And now they're not only doing an event, but they're doing an event where they're going to announce games and studio acquisitions. And like, it's going to be a good time. It's not just going to be some, local yokel thing. Like here's, AC Bongos with I'm shining his head. It's not going to be like that. You got Phil Spencer there. You've got the core team there. Like you're going to have announcements. You're going to have good stuff to come out of this. And it's going to be a grand day for people like us. And it's going to be a piss poor day for a lot of the PlayStation fans, is they're going to be like looking to damage control very, very hard. You know what I mean? Because Xbox has a lot of things going for it, and that's not a knock on Sony. They had a few really good games this year. But
if they announce Grab by the Ghoulies 2, I'm going to break your Xbox.
They are going to do Grab by the Ghoulies 2. They even, here's the thing. You know what I like about Rare? They make fun of themselves with Grab by the Ghoulies, right? Like the classic Xbox on Twitter tweets out, so many years ago, Grab by the Ghoulies released, and then like 3 people liked it.
Oh boy, it wasn't grabbed.
Yeah, but Rare retweeted it, and they go, "This had 3 likes, which shows that it wasn't a failure." Like if you play Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, if you look in the trash can, there's copies of Grab by the Ghoulies in there.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's hilarious. You know what I mean? It's like they have no problem poking fun at themselves. Not everything's a hit. It just kind of is what it is. I think they're going to do a lot of things to surprise the people, and I'm very excited by that, because when you see people that are usually probably not going to be that great, when you see people like that be excited about this, then I think that really just goes to show you that, hey, there is something to be excited about here.
Yeah, no, now Punk, let me go to you, and Shady, chime in, guys. What do you guys think about the XO event? Like, what do you guys need to see for you to be like, you know what, that was a pretty good show?
Oh, I think they're going to come out swinging hard. Like the momentum on Xbox is
like CGIs, or are we going to see CGIs like they did with Last of Us 2 at PSX, or are we going to see gameplay of some new stuff?
I think we might see a little bit of gameplay, some stuff. Like if you remember when they released Battletoads, they showed just even 10 seconds of the animation that they said is representative of the gameplay. I mean, even if it's just that, I think Crackdown is going to knock some socks off out there, and that makes me happy, because this game, more than almost any other this gen, has been dumped on and dragged through the mud and just had a hell of a development time. And I would love for it to come out and just lay waste. I'm a big Crackdown fan myself. I adore the co-op. I love getting the orbs. And what little I saw that destructive online, oh my God, like I cannot wait for that. And
What, did they
rumors
show
are
it
that's
already?
there, baby. Like that is there. They showed it a couple years ago on IGN for 10 minutes. I think
Oh, you
Justin
mean-
McGarry was
I've
playing
seen
it,
that. Mhm.
and it was just stellar back then. So if it's representative of that
I do
today,
think Craps
sold.
Shady Craps been saying it for a while, and I also heard from somebody else that actually talked to somebody behind the scenes, and they said that listen, Xbox is going to do a rebranding, and they're going to rebrand the whole Crackdown 3 thing because when it came out and everything was focused on just the destruction, but now we're hearing that destruction will be present in the multiplayer. Maybe not to the magnitude, but it will be there.
Well, supposedly, according to that Clo Brill guy, he says it's there 100%.
100%?
100%.
I don't know. I'm excited. I'm
I
excited
know
to
it's
see
there.
how that destruction is, but if it's a big city with 10 players only, I don't know, bro. That's kind of worrying.
I don't think that's. I mean, that's what
a
Wrecking
problem.
Zone is.
I don't have
Really.
a problem with going back to. I mean,
It depends on the map size, right?
it does depend on the map size. I'll give you that all day. But realistically, I think we're kind of all fixated on this 100-person battle royale. This is not a battle royale situation.
Well, the way that works is you each have this tower, and the whole point of the game is for your 5 people to destroy the opposing team's tower and vice versa. So that's basically what it is, and it's
so
like
it's not really a
mayhem.
map thing, then. Crap, really, it's
like a game mode, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a map.
absolutely.
Like it's the map though. Like that, they say it's twice as big as the. Well, that could be the single player though. It's twice as big as the original game. So,
but even in the destructive map, like when you think about it, all the buildings are destructive, and you're going after a tower. You can use more creative ways to take down that tower. Like you can look at like the skyscraper on the right hand side, and instead of attacking the tower, like right then and there, you kind of go off to the right hand side and you start hitting the foundation of that tower until it drops and it can
Dominoes.
drop. Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. Stuff we really haven't seen in terms of gaming, especially online gaming with destruction like that. That is really exciting right there. Yeah.
Outside of Crackdown 3, am I mistaken, or have they said that there will be no Halo Infinite and no Gears?
No Halo. I didn't hear about no Gears, but I know no Halo. Which
I
you
hope
know,
they said with Gears that they're not that they're so
No.
far from ready to show anything. That I think that's what the quote was. So I don't think we're going to see anything.
I'll be
new.
honest with you. If we're gonna get a show, and it's like Crap said, where they're gonna show their cards on certain things, and we found out that Halo and Gears are not gonna be shown,
It's
I'm
gonna
actually
be Crackdown.
excited. Yeah, I'm excited.
It's a 2-hour show. If we're not getting a Gears, we're not getting a Halo. Forza just launched.
getting controllers, people.
I mean, they got
So just to put in there,
I know.
that doesn't mean there won't be Forza there. That's
Yeah,
all I'm going to say.
I could see them highlighting maybe one of the
Or
expansions.
first on
DLC.
Crossfire.
DLC.
Yeah, it could be DLC. I mean, my whole thing is, I think that's what makes
Or
this.
engraved donuts. I don't know.
Great donuts.
I think this has got. Here's what I've always said. It's not something that people are like. Well, Mooch, that's not fair. You're always saying what they gotta show. I'm not saying what they. I'm not saying that this is what they're gonna show. I'm saying what they need to show. They need to show us something like a CGI of what Ninja Theory is planning, or a CGI of maybe what Playground Games has for Fable. And Crap, you've always said that a great drop the mic is here's what's happening in Albion, and you drop the mic and you leave the stage and you let us watch this world that Playground Games has made for Fable.
Yo, Mooch,
And that's important.
You are talking like the one thing. Me and the Don, we go back and forth. We are good friends. We party up on Xbox and everything, and we talk games. The one thing we could never agree on, I told him when it came to E3, Xbox did a couple really, really good E3s, but I was like, the one thing that was missing and the one thing that they can do at XO is tease the consumer base and the gamers out there, show them kind of like a tease for the future that, it's not just about that 18 months that Phil talks about with E3, but there's stuff in the pipeline, stuff that's coming out, stuff that you want to invest in this platform, moving forward beyond that year and a half mark that Phil talks about at E3, man.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. Punk, what are you looking for? I do want to hear it.
Yeah. No, obviously, Crackdown is my baby. So I really side with Colt on this because I really want to see that. And they did announce the 1,000 agility orbs. That gives me a little mini erection, not to get into DG. Shit like that. I mean, everyone knows this about the orbs, but for like 1,000, that's ridiculous. Kind of shows how big it's going to be. And Can we just see this goddamn Elite controller too? I need to see what this thing's about. Is it worth upgrading? Is it gonna fall apart? Mine has to fall apart. Blah 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 blah.
There is no Elite 2.
There is no
Elite 2. There is no.
So from what I know, I think Crap knows what I know, but from what I
it got
know,
shelved.
the Washburn was made to replace the Spider. Spider was codename for Elite 2. Washburn is the codename for the White Elite 1.
Yeah, so basically what happened was the Elite 2 was a thing.
Yeah.
And then they got word if it doesn't help grow the brand, if it's not integral to like a megaton or whatever, then it's quote unquote shelved. That's why we got the White Elite version 2. They're not going to release that and then also, announce a totally different version of the Elite 2. They're just not going to do it. So, yeah, I mean that's a bit. Also, that's why we didn't get the careers for Xbox Live. Remember, they were going to redo the whole career thing, and that's why we haven't got any update on the Upload Studio, and we won't. That's not something
it's crazy. It's crazy though that we got the avatars instead of that stuff. Like that stuff sounded cool.
I still haven't built an avatar. They keep reminding me.
These new Xbox updates just don't interest me. And I know people probably won't like me saying this, but when Donnie D was around, the updates were fucking brilliant. Every single update, I was excited.
Donnie D.
For the moment he leaves, the updates I couldn't give a toss about. I loved the UI the Xbox One shipped with. I loved it. It focused on games. It focused on entertainment. It was easy to navigate. Games, movies, TV shows, everything was there. I loved the way that system worked at day one. Now it's like, like random Mixer live streams.
You know what it is now? It's kind of like it's like your local mall. And even though you go every week to the mall, you're still one of those assholes that's standing in front of the map. Like, where the fuck did they move the gap?
It's like,
where did they put the gap? It's like, you're like, my wife likes to go to the Gap. I gotta find this place. You're like, I'm walking. This is like I'm on this UI all the time. It's everywhere, and I've said this. Look at the big knock against PlayStation is it's the same UI since the PSP. Guess what? You're right. You're 110% right. But the one thing about the PlayStation UI is I know where everything is. Like the Xbox app, every month, Mike Ibarra's like, I just want you guys to know I moved everything again. I'm like, damn it, Mike. Damn it.
Oh, my God. Do you remember? I remember when we used to have Mark Whitten leading the dashboard updates. And
I miss Mark Whitten.
Brilliant. They were brilliant. I
miss him.
As I said,
he went to Sonos.
The dashboard updates were like a game release for me. That's what they were like. I used to be more excited for those updates than the games that were coming out this year. Because those updates were fucking brilliant. I loved them. And then when Mark leaves and then Donnie D leaves, and it's like these updates they don't excite me anymore. Now it's like, oh great, another update. What's been moved this time?
Yeah, Brad Rossetti from Twitter. By the way, everything that was right is left. Everything that was left is right. Up is down, down is up. See you next month. I'm like, get the hell out of here.
We lose snap mode and you lose a bunch of the Connect features that I used to personally like, and it's like and we're still stuck with a really basic Upload Studio that's like,
all right, well, you guys want to talk about the negatives when it comes to the
what do you got, Xbox? Put a little rainbow
but
on
check
it.
this out. One thing that I can say,
I love the
fact that I can hit the guide button, hit the select button, and then I can decide whether
I'm already confused.
I want to record. What, 2 buttons confused you, man? Are you an A button fanatic like certain other people I know, man? I'm just saying.
That's your podcast, mate. Don't do them like that.
Okay.
They have now. Like the guide is nice. That is really nice and fast.
That where you can choose to record, up to like I have it up to 5 minutes because I keep it at 720. And the fact that you go into your recent captures and they took a page out of the PlayStation UI and you can share your stuff to Twitter right then and there. That is a nice feature that I know PlayStation has had for a while,
But when I'm browsing the clips, it still takes too long to load.
Yeah, it does.
It's much quicker to have them record it, and then for me to just upload it to OneDrive and do it then the rest from my PC.
That's right.
That's exactly what I've been doing for my gameplay for next podcast.
That's not what people want when you have that kind of an option. Xbox, I don't blame you, and I don't blame Alan for doing that. Like it just seems like Alan, you said something that I didn't want to say on the air because I didn't know if anyone really kind of pick up what I was putting down. I used to look so forward to the features.
Yes.
And now I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like that. What, is that his name? Is it Brad Rossetti? What's his name? It's in charge of like.
That's it.
Is that it? Nobody follows him because nobody cares.
I follow
he's
him.
Well, there it is all day. Yes, like he literally, like he's just kind of like, all right, everybody, all you alpha lovers, up is down, down is up. See you next month.
You
like,
know
nobody
what'd been
cares.
Cool? You know what'd be cool? You know how when you change your profile color, right?
Yes.
Why the fuck does it not change your menu too?
I don't know. I have that
It's
same
weird.
problem. I don't know.
Wait,
Like we haven't had that since the Blades. Remember the Blades? You can buy them.
Yes.
Blades.
My biggest issue actually is when you go to your profile on Xbox, it's like your whether it's your gamer pick or your avatar, whatever you choose. And then let's say you pick blue, right? So you have blue. It's just this big blue screen. It says your friends in the corner, and then just your avatar. It's this huge blue screen with nothing else. Why can't I put a background on that? Make it more customized. No. Brad Rossetti's got me covered. Left is right, right is left. All right, we'll see you next month. All right, all right, Brad. Like,
you know as well, some of you guys might notice that the clubs on Horizon 4, they've now integrated them into the Xbox dashboard and stuff.
that's
And like,
cool.
it's cool, but in Horizon 3, because the clubs were just in the game and they had nothing to do with the dashboard, you could like go in and see who in your club was earning the most points and stuff like that. And if anyone was being inactive, you could kick them out and all that stuff. Now that they're part of Xbox clubs on Horizon 4, you can't actually do any of that, which is kind of a shame.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I really, really hope that they get their act together in that and just give us put some fun things in there. Like things
work, Witten.
Yeah, I know. When Mark left, I got a little upset myself. Now he's with Sonos. And by the way, I have my whole house set up with Sonos. Mark Whitten's a genius. No, nonetheless, I'm just saying. So it is what it is, guys. We're approaching the 2-hour mark. We have such a great panel here tonight that we assembled. And we got a lot of outros. So I know you guys want to get out of here by 9 o'clock. And I do want to say, Baby D61392 in the chat says, Mooch, do you get a kick out of libraries? He must be into my yelling effect. Very funny, baby. I love that. Let's go back in reverse order here. All Day. I know All Day's muted, but I'm going to pick on him anyways. All Day, where can people find you, buddy? Really appreciate you coming on. We got to have you on again. We just didn't match up exactly with our hours because of that damn East Coast, West Coast thing. But let people know where they can find you. Oh, he's still muted. He's still muted.
Good talk.
Still muted.
He's still muted.
And still,
Hey, come back.
I'm here.
Oh, thank God. I was going to wait because I know you can hear me.
No, I'm good. No, thanks for having me, dude.
You got
Good
it, brother.
show. I'm going to be in Blackwater for the next year. So if you want to talk to me, talk to me there. And good show, man.
Yo, man, always appreciate having you on. All Day, we got to get you on from the beginning on, man. You're one. I say this all the time. People don't get it. All Day literally is one of the funniest people. If you don't follow him on Twitter. Even some of the stuff that he says, that's even when he goes anti-Xbox, sometimes it's pretty goddamn funny, man. You got to pay attention to it. It's funny.
Yeah, like the banana. Oh, that was great.
Yo, man, you crack me up. I'm not lying to you. You see me, I write you. I'm like, yo, that shit was funny.
He had to DM me like.
I did. I was like, I got to DM you because this is gonna start all kinds of shit. But anyways, it was funny as hell. Let me go to my next guest that was here. Punk. Yo, glad you came here, man. I'm sorry I kept you up 24 hours, but realistically, man, hope you come back. Always love your opinion.
No, man, I appreciate you having me on the show. I've always been listening. I don't get to chat as much, just the busy husband life and all that shit going on.
Yeah,
I had a blast on here, man. Anyone, if you want to find me, it's on Twitter, Punkadish Gaming. Hit me up there, Xbox, and also TSGP for Salty. Ours are 9 Eastern on Thursdays, so check us out there. And just to let y'all know, since Red Dead is the hotness right now, I don't know if y'all know anything about my mustache, but when the multiplayer comes out, free mustache rides for the whole panel.
Woo!
Right? Everybody.
There you go, folks. Love it. I'm gonna go ahead and put
lining up right now.
I was gonna put that coupon in the desk. All right, listen, Shady, always good to have you, buddy. The Sesh Empire is here, and I know that you do some great promotions for the show. I can't say thank you enough. Let people know where they can find you all week.
Hey, thank you so much, Mooch. I had a great time coming on the show as always. Red Dead Redemption 2 is out. I can't wait to get back there and play it. I am So Shady at the Sesh Empire, one word on Twitter. I am So Shady on Xbox. I've already got my black hat, black gloves, bandana around my mouth. I'm ready to get my outlaw on.
I will catch you on Xbox Live in moments, my friend. Let me go.
50 Shades of Shady right there. Man.
Oh, Xbox. Oh. Not a bad name, though. I like that. Then I've got Alan Walsh, who's all the way over there. He's in Ireland, folks. It's almost, is it 2 a.m.? Alan, what time is it?
2 a.m. and I'm getting ready to go back on Red Dead again.
This guy is diehard. Alan, let the people know where they can find you, and thank you so much.
First of all, it was great to talk about the games now, but I really enjoyed ranting about the dashboard. I've had that on my chest for a while.
I'm glad we can get it off your chest. Alan's like, I feel 20 pounds lighter. Go ahead.
So this week I put up another interview with Ralph Fulton, creative director of Playground, and then we talk about like all the future stuff for Horizon 4, like the DLCs, updates, expansions, and whatnot. And there's also a brief mention of Playground's next project, and he interestingly made a remark in my interview saying that we're not going to be hearing about it for quite a long time. So
interesting.
If you want to check that out, it's on fullthrottlemedia.co.uk. It'll be the first article you'll see at the top of the website if you want to read through it. Lots of stuff there about the future of Horizon, and they're planning multiple expansions, all that stuff he talks about. But yeah, other than that, you can find me on all the social media channels at Beetle Comet.
Awesome, Alan. And guys in the chat, people listening later, please do follow Alan. If you don't follow me, because I'll tell you right now, I always retweet everything he puts out, because if you're a Forza fan, you need to know what he's talking about. Alan, thanks so much. And then I've got Xbot448, who is this entire show, you don't realize, has been on Amazon looking for a 10-gallon hat, because he's coming around. Xbot, where can people find you, buddy?
I will come around for the community if the community will come around for me. That's all I gotta say, man.
That's a hell of a moochism. As a mooch, I'm stealing it. I like that. Thank you.
Nice, man.
Let them know where they can find you, but you got a big show tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's that Red Dead pitch, bro.
It is a Red Dead pitch, absolutely.
Oh, I got something for Red Dead after I talk about the next podcast, which is every Saturday 7 p.m. on my channel. It is a gaming news podcast that comes complete with gameplay to watch while you're listening to us, share our opinions. I have a fire panel with a new member, Mr. Noximus1. You guys gotta come and check this dude out. He's very, very opinionated. Fits right in with the panel, and we are having a blast. And like I said, that's Saturday, 7 p.m. And as far as Red Dead Redemption 2, I just gotta say to my boy Butcher Van out there, #NotMyCowboy.
Wow.
That's it, man.
All right, awesome, Xbot. I appreciate that, buddy. Always good to have you on. Great show tonight. And then I've got Singular Bombastic Boom. Boom, you spent more time with Mooch today than your entire family. Boom, let people know where they can find you. Yes.
We had a good time this morning on Breakfast with Boom. If you want to follow me, hit me up on Twitter, obviously. My DM is open to everyone. I like talking with the community at Mr. BoomstickXL. And if you're interested and you're new to my channel, give it a shot. No nonsense videos go up. I do 3 live shows weekly, and it's been great. I make 1 year on YouTube November 3rd, so I've had an incredible time.
Hey, Boom, I just want to say, if you're trying to rival Next Gen with live shows, you got to do 3 live shows per day. That's how you got to do that.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Boom. I'm waiting for the Boom and Noof Nukem hookup. So boom, kaboom, boom, boom, kaboom.
That would definitely be something.
Yeah,
that would be great. I'll promote the shit out of that. I love it, buddy. I love it. And then last but certainly not least, my co-host on the MNC show. We're doing Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Crap Gamer. Where can people find you this weekend?
Scrap Gamer reviews.
Let me get back to Red Dead. Damn it!
Everybody, enjoy the weekend. Go get Red Dead if you don't have it. Trust me, it'll be the best $60. If you don't have that, go find a friend that'll buy one for you. That's mooching in advance. Guys, have a great one. We'll see you next Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and then Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern time on my channel for MNC Show. We'll see you guys later. Thanks, everyone in the panel in the chat. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Later.